Chapter 243. Idol Temples. The Ox Temple. Here are some sketches of the strange idols in the temples. In a deep mountain gorge, where a wild mountain stream raged and sprayed over high rock faces in sudden falls, a large semicircular temple was built in a fairly spacious rock cauldron. The front wall was straight, and it was adjoined by a semi-cylindrical rear building, which was then adjoined by the residential building of the priesthood in question. At the top of the front wall of this temple were two large egg-shaped windows, shaped like the eyes of an ox. A few klafter lower, but just in the middle between the two upper windows, there were again two elongated round windows, but placed quite close together. But their elongation was vertical compared to the horizontal of the upper two windows corresponding to the eyes of an ox. Finally, at the bottom was a gate 4 klafter wide, supported by 3 black pillars, and 1.5 fathoms high, which from a distance looked rather like an ox's mouth. And since the entire front wall around the upper and lower windows, and around the gate, was painted to look like the head of an ox, and at the top of the wall above the eye windows were 2 projections like 2 horns, and on both sides of the front wall, parallel to the eye windows, were 2 large sheet metal ears, from which a mighty smoke was constantly coming out through pipes. This front had the very dreadfully magnificent appearance of an ox's head. The inside of the temple was painted dark red, and in the background of the temple, as if in a huge niche, stood a colossal ox made of sheet copper. Its hind feet were so thick that it was quite easy to get into the large belly of the ox by means of a ladder and perform all kinds of dazzling tricks. But the trickery consisted of this. During pilgrimage visits to this miraculous temple and idol, the enormous head was constantly moved up and down by means of an internal lever. Powerful bellows was attached to the inside of the belly. Smoke and often flames were blown out through the bellows into the throat of the ox, whereupon the ox began to thunder violently. And when the terrible thunder came to an end, only then did the orator in the belly of the ox take a large metal mouthpiece and addressed a few incoherent words to the trembling people. Then the ox became quiet, and the high priest came out through a back door, lit a censer and determined the sacrifices for the people and the next sacrificial time. Anyone who had cattle had to sacrifice here. Otherwise, the cattle would soon fall ill and die, which of course was brought about by the ministering spirits of this temple. More sketches next.